All right. Thank you for watching here on YouTube live at Blooming Light. Oh, happy day. I hope y'all are doing well wherever you are in the universe. If you're logging online live or if you're just logging on later at a later date and time. And so I'm going to talk a little bit briefly more about a post that I just created on my TikTok platform. And if you're not following me over there, if you go into the description box and on the home page, it's either on the top right corner or somewhere in the description box. And you click on it, it'll take you straight away to my TikTok platform. Okay, over there's lots of goodies there. And then I go live over there as well. Those are always interesting. And so I invite y'all to check that out. At your, oh, and I just saw this really pretty butterfly. It was yellow and black. Oh my God. So anyway, major transformations happening in the collective's lives, okay? And so I was talking about the question that's being put out there, do people who have toxic family structures and dynamics, do they deserve to have loving relationships? Shouldn't they be able to, considering it's not their fault that, hey, I got a toxic baby daddy, I got a toxic baby mama, I got a weird, family dynamic with my family, and they're toxic and they're extra and they're this and that and one thing and another. Like, should people have to be penalized for that? And no, they shouldn't have to be. Okay, I need to put that out there. No, no one should have to be penalized for that. However, as I mentioned on my short, it's up to us to make changes in our lives. We can't rely on these people being the change or transforming or being better. It's up to us to be that, which means we have to become a new version of ourselves that they may not like and that they're not used to, and that they will, like any tantrumy type of a child and bratty child, they're gonna stomp and scream and throw bitch fits and nigga fits because you're not caving into how they want you to continue to be. So the reason why it's important to see this for what it is because there's nothing like what's closest to us that has the power or possible power to influence the things that we're trying to co-create and manifest in our lives. So when we are trying to manifest a new way of living and being, and we're trying to manifest new types of connections and relationships with different types of people, if we're not careful and we don't have that solid and boundaries and structure in place with these baby daddies, baby mamas, toxic family dynamics, then they're going to be still puppeteering you indirectly in a covert way. So they're going to still be gossiping. They're going to still be teaming up with other people. They're going to still be creating catastrophes to have to pull on your energy, to have you pulled in different directions. They're going to be covertly, inadvertently trying to interfere with whatever this is that you are trying to co-create. So we have to see it for what it is and decide to put a boundary there and to not allow that in. Okay, we also have to understand that new people, as I said on my short, coming in, folks that are on a healing journey and path and trying to do better for themselves as well, has no desire to hook up with and connect to any people's friends and family that ain't right. And we really should understand that and have some respect for that. Like, okay, respect. They don't want no part of that. I don't want no part of it. I just so happen to be connected by blood, or, I had a kid with this person, I'm saying, whatever. So there's a level of, I got to deal with them on some level in some of the situations. But we ought not blame people for saying, hey, I don't do toxicity. Okay. I don't put myself in situations where I know people are gossiping about me or they're talking about me, or, vibe is off, or they catty, or I don't do those situations. I don't want to come to the Christmas party. I'm not interested in sitting up in front of people that the way they operate is they smile at you and they're talking about you behind your back, or they're talking about you to other people, or they're scheming, or they're just nosy as fuck so they can find something to pick at and find something, you know what I'm saying, to interfere with. So there are people, we have to understand that as we're manifesting new people, these folks don't want nothing to do with that. And we shouldn't be looking at them like, oh, they're not willing to know. They're looking for a healthy in their lives. And so we must accept that if we know and we're acknowledging that we've got toxicity attached to us, for some of us, we just need to get the balls to cut the shit out and stop playing. A lot of us are saying that we don't have a choice, but we very well do. We just don't like the consequence of people are going to judge me. People are going to look at me funny. They're going to be so mad. Like, we don't like the fact that it's going to come with those things, or we're trauma bonded and we don't realize that, and so we don't know how to address that properly. We're scared of the unknown, and it's so many factors there. Okay, also that's a part of that acceptance. Like, we need to see those things for what they are, because a lot of this helplessness sometimes that we're claiming to be in is not always the case. Okay, so just being willing to, like, look, oh, okay, yeah, that right there, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, huh? And that needs to be addressed. If I want anything different and better for my life, and I can't make my baby daddy be different, I can't make my baby mama be different, I can't make my sibling be different, I can't make my parent be different, I can't make my, nieces and nephews and aunties and uncles and cousins, and I can't make, these people be any different. Neither should I even be trying, because see, it's about me transforming. And if I transform, I am going to change the dynamic, because I'm going to be the one that's taking a stand to say, I won't put up with this. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to pretend like I don't see it. I'm not going to pretend like it's not there. I'm not going to have you interfering in my life. I'm not going to bring beautiful people that I'm trying to bring into my life over to your raggedy ass house. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to let you create catastrophe for me over and over again. I'm not going to let you have an emergency because you don't know how to detach. Having an emergency every week when I'm trying to make plans with someone. I'm privy to what you're doing, and I'm not going to do it anymore. You're having a heart attack every weekend. The kid is sick every weekend. Okay? Something broke in your house every weekend. You're having some kind of a crisis and tragedy every weekend, so that I can't live my life as I ought to be able to do. And so it's, like I said, it is up to us to get there. Okay, once again, I invite y'all to check out the short. I talked about that a little bit over there on my TikTok. And again, this is a case by case, situation by situation. There's no cookie cut answers to any of this stuff, and at the end of the day, it's just choices. Okay, this stuff is difficult, and by golly, I understand it. Okay, I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I understand trauma bonding. I understand toxic culture and toxic family structures and dynamics, and this is what I've come up under. So I get that it ain't that simple, but I also get that it takes us. That's something I get with, even if it has to be with tears coming down my eyes, even if it has to be with frustration of the backlash. I understand that if you want change, you got to stand for change. And the only way that you can stand for change is be the change and reinforce the change. And like anything else in life that we ever experience, it takes repetition. Our kids, those of us that have had children, okay, if we recall raising them and depending on their temperaments, they don't get a clue until after a while. They're going to stomp and cry and have fits when they can't get Skittles, up until enough times of us not caving. But the first few times us not caving, they still think all they got to do is yell louder, cry louder, stomp louder, throw harder, scream out, you know. And then enough repetition of practice where they start to see our resolve, and they start to realize like they can have a bitch fit, tantrum, holler, fall out, threaten, stomp, scream, I hate you. They can do all of that, and you're stone faced and not giving them nas skittle. Okay. Once they realize that enough times, it can't be just one time, enough times, then they're gonna get the clue, whether they want to or not, and they'll just plop on the floor realizing, well, bitch, I ain't gonna get no Skittles. Okay? And so anyway, that's how we gotta roll, y'all. You heard? You heard? You heard. I love y'all.